All right, so we're going to finish up Module 9, Lesson 6. We're actually going to play a Kahoot for the review, and then move into what we need to get through this week. Okay. Good morning, Will. All right, so Module 9, Lesson 6. We did the notebook. We did the course arc. We're going to do, you've had the review sheet, so you could have accessed that. We're going to do a Kahoot, just a quick little Kahoot for a review. And then as a reminder, we have small group tomorrow in the afternoon. So let me get the Kahoot open. Hold on. Well, I got the review sheet open, but that's not what I was looking for. Hold on. Here's the standards that we're talking about. I'll get to the Kahoot in just a moment. Hi, Magdalene. We're talking about unequal distribution of resources, specialization and comparative versus absolute advantage, why nations trade, our U.S. position in world trade, and the effects of trade on employment. I will get the Kahoot going, or at least up. Well, you guys help me out with today's warm-up. Today is Quirky Country Music Song Titles Day. What is the quirkiest one you can find? So if you don't listen to country music, that's fine. What is one that you can find? I will tell you one of the funniest ones is She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy. To me, that is hysterical. But what ones can you guys find? Anybody? Can you think of any? Anybody? And you can unmute and just tell me in the chat. Dirty old egg sucking dog. Oh my gosh, that is hysterical. There you go. There you go. Hi, Jamilette. Anybody else? I mean, anything else that you can think of or that you can find? Mary Poppins? That's quirky. That's definitely would be quirky. There's another one. It's an old Billy Ray Cyrus song, and it's called I Want My Mullet Back. That one's kind of funny. Yes, Drop Kick Me Jesus. That's another one. Right? There's an Alan Jackson song called I Still Like Baloney. I thought that one was kind of funny. Welcome to class, Judasia. I hope I'm saying that right. Beer for My Horses. Oh, it wasn't God who made a honky tonk angel. Okay. Where have all the average people gone? That's another good one. Trying to think. Now I got to go look for some. Okay, I just opened it up and I got, you can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. What? Oh, no, even better. I've got it. I've got it. This is like the ultimate, like, you irritate me kind of song title. You're the hangnail in my life. How about that one? There you go. It's like the ultimate right there, right? All right. Well, since it seems like not the rest, nothing else from you guys? Can't think of anything else? All right. So let's do the Kahoot. It's just a quick game. Quick game. All right, so you go to kahoot.it, and there's our game pin. Let's do our quick little Kahoot game really fast. I'm waiting for you guys to join. Okay, I see Isaiah's in. Jonathan's in. Good. I just realized, Jonathan, that your little dude has a pacifier. That's funny. I see Kylie, Miku, Franchon, Juliana, Will, Jonathan. Isaiah, you decided to cross out your name? Why? I should have like 11 more kids. I need to see you guys all jumping in here. See, Jackie's in here. Good. I should most definitely see those kids who I keep getting emails from them or counselors asking what the kids need to do better in the class. Well, here's one of them. Participate. Is anybody else going to join? Or should I go ahead and start? Let me know. There's Aiden. I didn't even see you when I opened it up. Welcome, Aiden. Analia. Jonathan, why is your name suddenly crossed out? There's Eboo. All right, I guess we're going to go ahead and get started. Give me a thumbs up if we're ready to get started. See one person, 2, 3. All right. That's good enough for me. Let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, it's quick. Okay. Which of the following factors contributes the most to economic growth? Higher rates of inflation, low investment in human capital, large amounts of natural resources, greater economic freedom. greater economic factors. Guys, why would you think that higher rates of inflation would lead to economic growth? Inflation means that our economy is out of control. We have way too much money and we're not providing what we need to. That's when they actually have to slow us down, right? Greater economic freedom allows for more economic growth. All right. Next. Why did government spending increase in the 1930s? We entered World War I, increased military spending, spent money to lift the economy out of the Great Depression, spent money to lift the economy out of the Great Recession, hyperinflation led to higher prices. So 3 of you got it correct. We were out of the Great Depression, not recession. I think that was those of you who chose the blue one didn't read it all the way through. You just saw great and you clicked it. But yes, Great Depression was the correct answer. Oh, Will's at the top now. Kylie's right behind. Jonathan following. Which of the following is not a form of technological process that aids in economic growth? Not. Education experience, scientific research, innovation, underemployment. Yay, most of you guys got that right. Underemployment is not a form of technological progress. Good. Will's still in the lead. Kylie's jumping up there. Oh, Jonathan's right behind Kylie. All right, we got one more question. A person with a graduate degree in psychology who works a part-time job in a coffee shop is overemployed, engaged in a non-market activity, underemployed, fully employed. They are underemployed. If you have a graduate degree and you're working in a coffee shop, you are not working in your area, right? You are underemployed. All right, so where's our podium? Number 3, Jules. Woo! She made a change right there. Jonathan is in second. I'm pretty sure I know who this is, and it's in first. Good job. All right. All right, so let's come back. Do we have any last questions regarding Module 9, Lesson 6? Remember, we also have the review sheet that goes over our vocab. Remember, we went through our key points. All of this comes out of the course arc. Remember, your course arc gives you the question bank for your quizzes. So all of this is in there, okay? That's what you have for your quiz review. Anything else? All right, so I guess we're going to move on to the EverFi Marketplace course. So I'm going to open it up because I want to take you through exactly where you're going to find this. And I'm going to, once again, in yet another video, talk about exactly what you need to screenshot and show me to get full credit. So when you are in here, first of all, here's our week 12 lessons and recordings. Today's video will also go in there, just like always. So you're in Module 9. We just finished up Module 9, Lesson 6, the quiz review. The EverFi Startups to IPO. So it is in the Marketplaces courses. Okay. So this is where you're going to turn it in. Let me go back to the page. So you're going to open up marketplaces and you can see, right, where it shows startups to IPO. So you're going to click on the tall green building, and that is going to take you into the startups to IPO lesson. Okay. You're going to click through it like you have on all of the other ones. Click, 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 follow, 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 answer some questions as you go. At the very end, you will have a 10-question assessment. You will answer the questions. At the end of the assessment, you are going to get a page that says assessment results. I need a screenshot of your entire computer screen, not the tab, the entire screen. Why? Because I need to see right here the tab that shows me the lesson, startups to IPO, the part where it shows me your name. Sorry, guys, we've already had too many kids who have decided to try and turn in somebody else's work, and I'm really tired of the cheater McCheater sins, and this is one way to prove that you did the work. And then finally, you get a page that says assessment results with the percentage that you scored. All three, tab, name, assessment percentage, must be in your screenshot to get credit. This is what I need to see in order for you guys to get credit. If all you give me is this right here with no name, no lesson, etc., you're not getting credit. You're getting a minimum F. I keep telling you guys, this is what you need to have. I've repeated it. I'm showing you it. It's got arrows in it. So this is what you have to do. Are there any questions about what you need to turn in to get full credit for your EverFi? Now's your chance to ask. Anything at all. Now's like the time to do it. All right, so Will says he's got it. Okay, hello, Melissa. I'm showing a picture on the screen of what you have to submit in order to get full credit. And by full credit, I mean to get credit for the assessment grade that you made. So these are all 25% as our 25-point summative points. If you make 100%, you get 25 points. If you make 90%, you get 22.5 points. If you make 80%, you get 20 points. If you make 70%, you get 17.5 points. Okay, so whatever percentage you make, that is the percentage of the points that you are going to get. And these are summative grades. Because you can retake these assessments an unlimited number of times, I would strongly suggest you do your best to get as high of a percentage as you can. Especially since, remember, we talked about for some of you guys, that light at the end of the tunnel this quarter is not the lights on the stage for graduation, but for some of you guys, it might just be the train that's going to run you over because you didn't take care of business third quarter, right? All right, if everybody understands that you're going to go through the marketplace course and you're going to do the startup to IPO lesson, which is the big green building, we're going to move on to our next thing. All right, so we're going to move on to the life of a T-shirt. That's also a summative. I've got a couple of things that we're going to do before we actually get into the assignment. I have a globalization video. I have some PowerPoint notes that we're going to do real quick, and then another video, and then our assignment, okay? So let's do the first video. It's quick.
Every day, we knowingly or unknowingly experience globalization. The worldwide movement of people, ideas, money, goods, data, drugs, weapons, computer and biological viruses, greenhouse gases, and more. This isn't new. People and goods have always moved around the world. The Silk Road, a network of trade routes stretching from the Mediterranean Sea to East Asia, facilitated the spread of fabrics, spices, art, weapons, technology, ideas, and disease over thousands of years. What is new, however, is the scale, velocity, and range of these flows across borders. Think about the speed at which an infectious disease like Ebola or Zika can spread around the world, or the reach of a financial contagion like the crisis of 2008. Look at your smartphone and think about the global coordination it took to produce. The interconnectedness of the modern world allows ideas, behaviors, styles, products, and news to spread more quickly and broadly than during any other period of history. But globalization's effects are complex. What represents an upside for some people might represent a downside for others. Technology, for example, allows billions of people to contact friends and access news from around the world. International supply chains, the networks that turn raw materials into finished items, produce and distribute goods more quickly and cheaply than ever. But the pace of technological innovation has also led to the automation of manufacturing processes, which eliminates jobs. Trade is another example. Between 1970 and 2015, global exports and imports of goods each multiplied more than 50 times. More imports lead to increased consumer choices and reduced prices, and more trade can strengthen ties between trading partners and promote peace, security, and growth. But more trade opportunities and technological advances mean many corporations choose to shift their operations to countries where the labor and natural resources are cheaper. And the individuals and companies that can take advantage of international resources experience outsized gains, which widens the growing gap between the rich and the poor. The effects of globalization, both negative and positive, are a reality. No one can opt out entirely. But governments have many options for responding. They can choose how open or closed they want to be towards trade, investment, visitors, immigrants, refugees, internet traffic, and more. Governments can also contend with globalization through collective rather than national responses. A set of international institutions and other arrangements has emerged to manage globalization. Although some countries view globalization as a threat to local identity, culture, or social and political norms, no country can be entirely self-sufficient. The challenge is for individual governments and the world collectively to promote globalization's benefits while effectively helping the individuals and countries that globalization hurts the most.
All right, so we're going to go through this relatively quickly. All right. So when we're talking about why is globalization so important? So what I want you guys to do is just a quick little exercise. Look at the labels on your belongings. So if you've got a water bottle, maybe you can look at like your shirt, or if you've got a backpack, or maybe a blanket or something. And look and see, where are these items made? Why do you think they were made there? And how often do you purchase goods made in America? So let's take a minute and everybody look to see what your stuff says. And then can anybody tell me where some of your items are made? Anybody? And you guys can unmute your microphone, or you can type it in the chat. I mean, I can definitely tell you, like, most of our cell phones probably made in China. I don't know. Let me look. Let me check my. Oh, my shirt says made in Haiti. There you go. What about the rest of you? Anybody else have anything made somewhere else? Made in China, Will? Okay. Pakistan. For your clothing, Jacqueline? Your shirt, maybe? Oh, your towel? Okay. Made in Pakistan? All right. Anybody else? I don't know. What does my coffee cup say? Does my coffee cup say made in? Let me see. No. I don't want to dump my coffee on me, so I'm trying to figure out how to read this without. I can't see. There's something on here, but I can't see. Your mug was made in California? Cool. I feel like made in China. So my cup was made in China. Let me see. Does this have a where it was made? I'm looking to see. It's my hard drive holder, my portable hard drive holder. I don't know if it's going to say where it was made. Nope. I might have accidentally cut that out of here. So I don't know where this was actually made. Oh, your notebook was made in Brazil? Ooh, your blanket was made in Mexico. Nice. Anybody else? Does anybody else have anything? No, I guess we can move on from that point. Well, so like you're noticing, right? Like we have one item so far this is made in the United States, right? In California. Bangladesh, there you go. Absolutely. So we're not going to do the Jamboard, guys. This is just like, why are imported goods so popular in America? Why don't American companies produce everything they buy? Why do they sometimes outsource their production? How does importing goods from other countries affect Americans? How does exporting goods affect other countries' citizens? And if you think about this, why are they so popular in America? Well, I know why I buy certain things because of cost, right? That's one of them. Some of the things just aren't even made in the United States, right? Why do some companies outsource their production? Well, cost, right? The cost of producing in the United States is much higher than, say, Bangladesh, or where did my thing say? Haiti. So the cost that it would, for the companies, it's much higher here in the United States than in other countries. And we know companies are all about making profits, right? How does importing goods for other countries affect Americans? How does exporting goods affect other countries' citizens? Some people will tell you that it's really bad, right? Because jobs are not here, they're in other countries. And in some cases, I can see where a lot of things that have been offshored into other countries, it does make it kind of bad for us. But then again, remember what we learned in Module 9, Lesson 6, every country cannot make and produce every single thing its people need. So because like the example with the shoes versus the planes, right? We make planes so much faster, so much better. We make so much more money off of them than we do shoes. And so it's just better off ultimately if the planes are made here and we import shoes from another country. Okay. How does exporting goods affect other countries' citizens? Well, that's how they make money, right? Your exports are how you make money. So it's good for them, right? Because that is part of their nation's gross domestic product and how they make money. So what is globalization? When goods and services are moved across the nation's border into another nation. Globalization affects all people, cultures, and economies. Due to the internet, technology, and trade, information spreads freely and quickly. Consumers can find products from their country all over the world. Think of when you travel. Can you not get McDonald's anywhere? Pretty much yes, right? And it's easier to travel and communicate internationally than ever before. So, what do you think is good about globalization, and what do you think is bad about globalization? Hang on to that. We're going to come back to that. Okay, so we talked about multinational corporations in our last things. This is a little bit of a review. Remember, it maintains facilities and conducts businesses in a minimum of one country abroad. So like, wait, let me go back. So an example of a multinational corporation that you might have seen when you have traveled, Coca-Cola, right? We know they have stuff everywhere. Or fast food chain, McDonald's. And then have you ever seen a fast food chain adopt elements of the local culture into their menu? Sprite, absolutely. Have you guys seen McDonald's menus in other countries? Think about this. Are you going to see hamburgers on McDonald's menus in India? Why or why not? Anybody? Think about it. In India, they're Hindu. What is sacred to Indians or to Hindus? Cows. They're not going to have cows on their menu for McDonald's, right? That's adopting the local culture into their menu. International economic organizations. So we talked about the World Bank, the IMF, and the WTO in our last lesson, right? So it's just, they kind of help oversee the world economy. And that was just it for like the quick little notes as a review, okay? And I want to get into the life of a T-shirt assignment. So I'm going to play the crash course video while you guys open up your assignment, okay? So open up your life of a T-shirt assignment.
This is live from PS5.
Historic scenes unfolding in San Francisco.
It is the first for a tribe to have laid eyes on this scene in over 2,000 years. This was live from PS5.
Just wanted to start a business when something surprising happens.
Today, I'm going to teach. Welcome to Crash Course Economics. I'm Adrienne Hill.
And I'm Jacob Clifford, and today we're talking about poverty and extreme poverty, which are not easy problems to talk about and not easy problems to fix.
But just because a problem is difficult doesn't mean we shouldn't try to understand it. So let's get into it.
Back in the 1990s, the United Nations created 8 Millennium Development Goals with a deadline of 2015. The goals included things like reducing child mortality, promoting gender equality, and combating major diseases. But the first goal on the list was to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. Now, poverty means different things in different countries because there's different standards of living around the world. In the US, a person is officially living in poverty if they make less than $11,770 a year, around $32 a day. This is called the poverty line or poverty threshold. But we're going to focus on extreme poverty, which according to the UN is a condition characterized by severe deprivation of basic human needs, including food, safe drinking water, sanitation facilities, health, shelter, education, and information. The UN defines extreme or absolute poverty as living on less than $1.25 a day. The goal set by the UN was to reduce the number of people living in extreme poverty by half. Well, it's 2015, the results are in, and the UN reports that 836 million people still live in extreme poverty. But that's down from 1.9 billion, so success, or at least a lot of progress. And the World Bank predicts that by 2030, the number of people living in extreme poverty could drop to less than 400 million. Of course, that assumes everything will keep improving as it has. But there's an asterisk here. Climate change is a threat to these improvements in global poverty.
So we're moving in the right direction, but we're talking about extreme poverty. Most people who've been lifted out of extreme poverty are still poor, really poor. And being poor comes with serious problems, from disease to lack of water. Income inequality is rampant, and 1 in 7 people still live without electricity. So why is extreme poverty falling? The answer to this is really complicated. A bunch of factors like better access to education, humanitarian aid, and the policies of international organizations like the UN have made a difference. But the greatest contributor is globalization and trade. The world's economies and cultures have become more interconnected, and free trade has driven the growth of many developing economies. Let's go to the thought bubble. World trade has been growing since the end of World War II. Free trade agreements and technological advances in transportation and communication mean goods and services move around the world more easily than ever. And we're talking everything from shoes and bananas to innovations and ideas. Take mobile phones. Mobile phones are pretty much good for everything, including reducing poverty. According to economist Jeffrey Sachs, mobile phones are the single most transformative technology when it comes to the developing world. Phones give people access to banking and payment systems, better access to education and information. In some places, mobile phones help farmers get information and get the best price for the stuff they're producing. Installing cell phone towers is also a lot cheaper than running thousands of kilometers of telephone lines. Economists call this leapfrogging, the idea that countries can skip straight to more efficient and cost-effective technologies that weren't available in the past. International trade has also created new opportunities for people to sell their products and labor in a global marketplace. There are some significant downsides to globalized trade, but the statistician Hans Rosling made this point. The 1 to 2 billion poorest in the world who don't have food for the day suffer from the worst disease, globalization deficiency. The way globalization is occurring could be much better, but the worst thing is not being part of it.
Thanks, Thought Bubble. So globalization is the result of companies trying to outmaneuver their competitors. While you search for the cheapest place to buy shoes, companies search for the cheapest place to make those shoes. They find the cheapest sources of leather, dye, rubber, and of course labor. The end result is that labor-intensive products like shoes are often produced in countries with the lowest wages and the weakest regulations. This process creates winners and losers. The winners include corporations and their stockholders who earn more profit, but also consumers who get products at a cheaper price. The losers are high-wage workers who used to make those shoes. Their jobs moved overseas. But what about the low-wage foreign workers? Are they winning or losing? Well, a lot of workers are thrown into hazardous working conditions, but it's also true that many workers in developing countries are at least making more money. These jobs pay above average wages. People want these jobs. And although the pay would be unacceptable in developed countries, they're often the best alternative. And the multiplier effect means that more money is being spent on local businesses, so these jobs create jobs. According to the economist Paul Krugman, the Bangladeshi apparel industry is going to consist of what we would consider sweatshops, or it won't exist at all. And Bangladesh, in particular, really needs its apparel industry. It's pretty much the only thing keeping its economy afloat.
But not everyone agrees. Opponents of globalization call the outsourcing of jobs exploitation and oppression, a form of economic colonialism that puts profits before people. A few call for protectionist policies like higher tariffs and limitations on outsourcing. But others focus on the foreign workers themselves by demanding they receive higher wages and more protections. The root of many arguments against globalization is that companies don't have to follow the same rules they do in developed countries. Some developing countries have no minimum wage laws. They don't have regulations that provide safe working conditions or protect the environment. And although nearly every country bans child labor, those laws are not always enforced. But in the absence of regulation, it's still possible workers won't be horribly mistreated. First, public awareness is growing, along with pressure from the international community to take steps to protect workers. For example, the U.S. produces an annual publication called the List of Goods Produced by Child Labor or Forced Labor. If a company is buying products from that list, they're likely to get blasted by officials and the media. So awareness is the first step to improvement. The second step comes from those that support globalization. The pro-globalization set argue that as developing economies grow, there are more opportunities for workers, which leads to more competition for labor and higher wages.
Perhaps the strongest argument against globalization is its lack of sustainability. Many experts don't think the planet can sustain a growing global economy. Deforestation, pollution, and climate change aren't going to fix themselves, especially if increases in living standards lead people to demand more consumer goods like cars and meat and smartphones. Globalization has helped millions of people get out of extreme poverty, but the challenge of the future is to lift up the poor while at the same time keeping the planet livable.
One of the best ways to help those in extreme poverty is to enable them to participate in the economy. This applies to developing countries in the global marketplace, but also to individuals at the local level. A perfect example is microcredit. In 2006, a Bangladeshi professor named Muhammad Yunus won the Nobel Peace Prize for implementing a simple idea. He gave small loans, on average around $100, to low-income people in rural areas. The borrowers, who were mostly female, often used the money to fund plans that could raise their income. For example, they started small businesses. Microcredit was a success and has since spread to developing countries throughout the world. Private lenders, governments, and nonprofit organizations have jumped on board to loan billions of dollars to the world's most disadvantaged. By itself, microcredit isn't going to solve the problem of extreme poverty, but it supports the idea that enabling people to participate in the economy can make their lives better. Eunice explains, "In my experience, poor people are the world's greatest entrepreneurs. Every day they must innovate in order to survive. They remain poor because they do not have the opportunities to turn their creativity into sustainable income." Microcredit, when it works, allows people to improve their lives by participating in the economy on their own terms. But we can't forget, a lot of people who participate in the global economy aren't doing it on their own terms. Many of the people who've emerged from extreme poverty in the last 25 years have jobs, wages, and working conditions that would be unthinkable in the developed world. Economists say that's okay, it's progress, but it's progress that's awfully hard to stomach. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Crash Course Economics was made with the help of all these nice people. You can support Crash Course.
All right, so hopefully you guys have opened up the life of a t-shirt. The actual assignment says, have you ever wondered how your t-shirt gets made, how much of the economy of different countries goes into making the t-shirt that you are wearing? It says flow. It should say follow the journey of a life of a t-shirt. In this lesson, to learn the steps to make the t-shirt or the shirt on your back. Right here is where you click on the link to make a copy of the task sheet. So I need a thumbs up reaction from everybody that you have your task sheet document open. You've made your copy. And then we're going to work through the videos. Still not seeing everybody saying they've got theirs open. All right, so when you click on the link, I will open it up just so you can see what I'm talking about. It asks you to make a copy of the document. So literally, you're just going to complete these incomplete sentences like it asked you to do on the rubric. So the first one talks about cotton, describes some innovations and advancements made in the cotton industry. How many t-shirts can be made from one U.S. cotton farm? What advantages have allowed cotton farming to flourish in the United States? So 2 innovations here. How many t-shirts? 3 advantages here. And that's the first video. The second video, machines. How much yarn did it take to produce a single t-shirt? Describe different ways in which automation has affected the efficiency of the factories. They're going to give you the names and show you a bunch of different machines. You just got to give me 2 and how that improved the efficiency of the factory. Question number 3, what advantages has allowed Indonesia to become a center for manufacturing? So give me 2 advantages. Question 4, identify some reasons that may eventually cause a shift away from Indonesia as a manufacturing center. So give me 2 reasons why you think. Then we move on to workers. Identify some advantages that production in Colombia has over production in Bangladesh. Why would Colombia be better than Bangladesh? Give me 3. Discuss how manufacturing wages in Bangladesh compare to other countries around the world. Question number 3, describe how an increase in wages might impact the garment industry in manufacturing countries. Then in the video on boxes, when did containerization in shipping begin? Explain how containerization has increased efficiency in the shipping industry. Describe the economic breakdown of the cost to produce a single t-shirt. That comes from the boxes. Then you have some reflection questions. How much longer can Americans buy cheap t-shirts, do you think? What will happen if the US cuts off trade with Bangladesh for us and them? What would happen if the Bangladesh minimum wage increased? What would that mean to those people buying those garments? And then the afterlife of a t-shirt, when you click on this link, and I can take us there as well, you're reading the transcript. You're not watching, you're reading the transcript. Discuss how the afterlife of t-shirts has established new industries in less developed countries like the village in Kenya. Discuss the economic breakdown of the afterlife of a t-shirt. How does that compare to the initial cost of the t-shirt? Okay, so let's go back and I will play the videos. We've only got about 5 minutes left in class, so I'm just going to quickly go through whatever we get through today, and then you will finish on your own. All right? Don't forget, tomorrow is attendance and small group meet in the afternoon. All right, so I am going to come back and I'm going to push play.
I'm Alex Bloomberg at Planet Money, and a while ago we had this idea. Make a t-shirt and then follow that shirt around the world as it gets made. This right here, crap. This is the shirt we made. And it's just an ordinary shirt. It's not made of organic cotton. It's not handmade in the United States. We wanted to tell the story of our clothes the way the vast majority of our clothes are actually made. Because behind all of our clothes, behind this shirt, there is an entire world. And once you see that world, you realize there's nothing ordinary about a simple t-shirt.
All right, so the first set of questions comes off of the video for cotton.
Our t-shirts started here, or near here anyway, on a cotton farm in the Mississippi Delta. America, it turns out, exports more cotton than any other country in the world. For about a century, America maintained its cotton dominance by using slave labor. Today, it does so using technology.
This is a John Deere app, and it shows where the pickers and tractors are. We can go into the screen on a picker and see what the picker driver is actually seeing on his screen.
And sure, it's picking the cotton off the snow.
So we're driving south?
Yeah.
Bowen Flowers is a third-generation Mississippi cotton farmer. Even the seeds he uses are a feat of engineering to rival the iPhone. Most American cotton seeds are made in a lab, like this one and the Monsanto Corporation. Genes from bacteria are added to the cotton to make it more pest-resistant and tolerant of herbicides. There's a debate over the safety of genetically modified crops. For American cotton farmers, though, it's mainly been settled. 20 years ago, there was no GM cotton. Today, over 90% of American cotton is genetically modified. And all this technology, the machines that automatically bale the cotton, the specially designed trucks to haul those bales away, the high-speed gins that remove those lab-designed seeds, all this technology has an impact. Since the 1950s, cotton yields have almost tripled.
You've been harvesting all this cotton. How many t-shirts did you make?
Oh gosh, it's no telling. Do y'all happen to know that answer, how many it is?
We didn't know, but we went back and looked it up. The answer? From just this one farm, in just 1 year, there's enough cotton for 9 million t-shirts. That's a t-shirt for every single person in New York City.
All right, so that finished up the first set of questions, the different advancements, and what advantages have allowed cotton farming to flourish. I mean, look at how easily it can be transported and it can be stored, not to mention all of the technological advancements in picking it, baling it, separating it, the gins, etc. Now we're going to move into machines.
Our cotton leaves the United States and goes around the world to Colombia, Indonesia, and Bangladesh, where it goes from plant to fabric, with barely a human being involved. Just lots and lots of cool machines, which we set to music. Our cotton first went to spinning factories like this one. Raw cotton is sucked up, laid down in big sheets, straightened, pulled into long feathery ropes like an infinite ponytail, stretched, twisted, and with a final twist, it becomes yarn. It's then sent on big spools to the next step, the circular knitting machine, where our yarn is turned into fabric. It's washed, dyed, and voila, the fabric for our shirts. Soft, comfy, and a high-tech engineering marvel.
You're muted.
Sorry, 6 miles of yarn or 30 to 33 yards to make a single t-shirt. It showed you the different machines that you're going to talk about in your questions. And then you're just going to go through. So each set of videos on here takes you through each set of questions. Machine, the questions listed under machine, go there. The questions listed under people, go with this video. Boxes, this video. Okay. And then this part right here. And then you have the link to go read the transcript to finish that up. And that is it. We're a little bit over time today, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys understood that each set of videos is titled for each set of questions. And then tomorrow is your attendance assignment and small group meet in the afternoon. Does anybody have any questions, anything that you are unsure of, or anything that you can't remember? All right, so we're done for the day, guys. If I don't see you tomorrow afternoon, I will see you on Wednesday. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. Bye.